Calvin Heimburg has a major problem. Come on, everyone loves a good dad joke. What's up, Disgenerates? I'm Jefferson, half of the disc golf world for day 19 of Discmisk. Shout out to everyone on Patreon for pushing us through the last stretch of videos every day. Today is going to be a little bit shorter because, well, 19 days in a row is finally caught up to the boys. And frankly, the motivation to recap Heimburg's entire season just wasn't there. Not to say it was a bad year. I mean, still is ranked 4th in the world. He had 2 wins on tour, which is the same amount he's had every year they've been calling him Elite Plus events. And 12 additional top 5s with an average of a 12th place finish. Sure, he wasn't able to stay as consistent, but what he did last year was truly remarkable. Now the resume might not look nearly as good, but like I said, the amount of wins stayed the same. The one big problem with that is none of them have that pretty M next to it. We're not sure why something about these hand-picked prestigious events hold more weight. And I'm not sure if this is a common talking point at your putting league, but I swear I have to hear this argument on repeat from the same damn people. If you haven't experienced that, I envy you. When most of the talk surrounding this offseason is how nobody is getting contracts, prices are getting slashed, it begs the question, how long is Calvin safe with Innova? They are the supposed choice of champions. And after losing Kenny, clearly doesn't matter how long you've been a part of the family. I know that was a stretch, but some people are going to buy it, so might as well say it. Innova would be dumb to let go a personality like Calvin. Someone that barely needs to speak and people love. He's literally the 3rd most liked disc golfer according to the fandom survey. Now if only they can find a way to actually market him. Think about how much money they can make. I tried finding clips of Heimburg for B-roll, and there's no content with essentially the face of your brand out right now. I guess when he was on Jomez so much, you didn't really need to put any effort in. You know what? My bad. They did give the guy the Halo groove after all. That's also why you're getting this throwback Calvin footage from the Gatekeeper guys, who have been putting out some awesome content over the offseason that I know some of you are dying to watch. So make sure to check out the full thing on their channel. Calvin truly breaks all the rules pro disc golfers are being told. Instead of focusing any sort of energy towards social media, he rather would spend his time collecting rocks. Must be nice when people actually want to buy your tour series. Let me know your guys' opinions of Calvin down below. Have we seen the best, or is a breakout year still in the works? We gotta remember that for an extended part of the season, he was battling an injury that took out his forehand game. This offseason could give the healing time necessary for him to come out blazing. Like I said, his season wasn't bad, and when you look at his individual stats, he's even more impressive. Leading in park percentage and finding himself in more birdie opportunities than majority of the field. Slipped in the putting category, but I'm confident in the comeback. Just don't tell LL. I'm not sure why there isn't a Calvin Heimburg podcast of sorts, or maybe one of those Drew Gibson sit-downs. Because that might just take over the #1 content spot. Throw Zach Melton in there, and it's a lock. For real though, I think Calvin has some good takes, but often doesn't get a full chance to express them. He can have the limelight while you have a secondary person that pushes further when you get the classic quick answers. It's funny, because being at so many press conferences, you start to understand how players handle the interviews. There's not that many people that go on, so it's pretty easy to catch on. From my observation, Calvin wants to give the simplest answers in the fewest amount of words, but hit him with a topic that he wants to dismantle, and he quickly does with his own wit, such as the basket testing. He's never worried about how he comes off, and every time he's on the mic, you can guarantee an authentic take that was thought out. I appreciate those because you might not ever hear his opinion, but when you do, it doesn't take long to realize they're very well thought out. Thankfully, I've been close enough while recording to hear the jokes and conversations he has with his peers when the fans and cameras are away. Calvin may have a problem getting the major win, but in terms of personality, he's already won. If only Innova knew how to properly market their players. Even just throw a camera on him to recap his tournaments. Maybe that's just the selfish disc golf fan in me wanting more from one of my favorites, and I would love to cover those takes on a weekly basis. Weird video today, but it's been hectic behind the scenes, so thank you for sticking with my rambling. Talking disc golf is my time to de-stress, and this was my mind written out. I kind of like doing this information dump, so let me know if you'd want some more of this style in the future about various disc golf topics, and Swiss and I can just give our first thoughts. We're trying to diversify the content a bit for the off season, but don't know what that looks like quite yet. Okay, back to the regular schedule tomorrow for This Week in Disc Golf.